A very warm welcome to StudyIQ. I am Prashant Pavani. I hope you all are doing good. Today is 5th July and a special topic that I have got for you guys today is pertaining to this sugar farmers in our country. We'll go through some of the root cause of this distress that we find with our sugar farmers, sugarcane farmers. But before that, I have got a good news for you guys that our pen drive and tablet courses are available and up to 50% discount is available on them. This is going to last till 9th of July. Registrations are open for our test series. 5 days to go before you get your first test series. So don't find yourself behind. Register now. It is available both in Hindi and English. With this, dear friends, I will share the PDF of today's lecture for you guys on my Facebook page and Twitter handle. And please don't forget to share it with your friends, video as well as this PDF file. And if you learned something from today's discussion, then please don't forget to hit the like button. It will certainly motivate me to bring out some more special topics as well as important news items for you guys on regular basis. Now, one of the main reason behind farm distress in our country is excess production of one particular crop. And why this thing happens, there are multiple reasons behind it. But what happens in our country is that, farmers, say for example, sugarcane, right? Once farmers find out that MSP or this SAP has been declared, or they will get good SAP or MSP, they will start, focusing on just one particular crop, and that is this high SAP or high MSP crop. Because of this thing, everyone will be producing this particular crop, and finally what happens in the market is that the supply of that particular crop will go too high and the demand will stay static. So because of this thing, the price will fall down. Once the price comes down, then finally farmers will not get that much money, and later on they will have to suffer, and they won't be in a position to pay back to their money lenders, and finally they will lose their assets and other things. And this many times sadly results in suicides as well. Now, yesterday, if you have paid attention, then you might have observed this name, CACP, right? CACP is a commission for agricultural costs and prices in our country. One of the main job of this CACP is to analyze the demand, supply, stocks, international prices, as well as other relevant factors associated with all major crops. And once it analyzes all these different aspects, then it will come to a sort of logical, or it will come out or declare this fair price of all major crops in our country. Now, the main problem that we find in our country is this higher state advised prices, SAPs, right? These are state advised prices. Because of political reasons, to make the most out of it, to collect as many brownie points as possible from farmers, because that in our country, more than 50% of our population is associated with agriculture. So there is no state in our country where you won't find farmers. So of course, to woo farmers, these political parties or ruling parties, they will come out with this sort of high SAPs, and this will basically push these farmers to go ahead and produce this one particular crop, and then we reach to this situation of mismatch in demand and supply. The other thing is, once we find that farmers are in distress, the steps that we take are, you can say, based on short vision, or they are just this band-aid steps, right? What we do generally, when I say we, I mean to say the government. What they do is, they will come out with this cess on sugar. So with this additional cess on sugar, this money, this cess money will go to this sugar mills, and finally these sugar mills will be able to pay to these farmers. This is how we help our farmers. The other thing is, government keeps on pushing or forcing these oil companies to buy ethanol made from sugarcane and molasses at a very high price, of course, for blending with petrol. And because of this thing as well, farmers will go ahead and produce more of this particular crop or sugarcane. So this will of course create this disturbance in this equilibrium of this demand and supply. If we see actual demand in our country per year, we require 25 million tons of sugar, but in 2017-18 we produced 32 million, and in stock we used to have like somewhere around 3 million tons. So roughly you can say 35 million ton sugar was produced in 2017-18. Actual demand was 25 million tons, so there is a gap of 10 million, or excessive production, not a gap but excessive production of 10 million tons. Now many of you will be thinking that how about exporting this extra 10 million? We are not the only country who is producing this particular product called sugar. There are countries like South Africa, you have other countries of African continent, then you have Caribbean island, you have Brazil and other South American countries. China is there, other ASEAN countries are there. So basically sugar is available around the world, right? Sugar cane is produced in many different parts of the world. The problem with our country is that if you see or compare sugar production in our country with other countries or international market, then you find that our prices are a bit higher than what's going on in international prices or international market. So because of this thing, exports are literally impractical. So we cannot export this 10 million tons or most of it. Now, sugarcane is a water guzzling. It's a very, you can say, thirsty. Sugar canes are juicy, but they are very juicy when it comes to water. I hope you are getting the message here. Basically, let me break it down and make it simple for you. Sugarcane requires huge amount of water. Now to woo farmers, again, you know, these SAPs are there. Then apart from that, or on top of that, government will declare, or government has started, you know, this is something that is very common nowadays in different states, that we find that free or cheap or ultra cheap electricity is provided to farmers, of course, to woo farmers. Now because of this ultra cheap electricity, on top you give subsidies on these water pumps. So all those areas where sugarcane or this sugarcane farming is not practically viable as far as this environment is concerned, like say for example you have Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, these states are fit enough for this sugarcane production because they have this Ganga and other major rivers. Apart from that, the water table is quite good as well. But you have states like Maharashtra and some pockets of Gujarat, and there are some pockets of Andhra Pradesh and other places where you face this water crisis. Water crises are getting more and more severe, and on top you are going ahead with this sugarcane. And one of the main pushing two major factors that play, or three you can say, water pumps or subsidies on them, ultra cheap or free electricity, and higher SAP. So this is environmentally not viable too. The other thing is there is a gentleman, an economist named V.M. Dandekar. He has showed long time ago that if we switch, if farmers of Maharashtra, if they switch or if they diversify themselves from sugarcane production to other food grain crop, they would be able to triple the area of irrigation because you will require less water. The other thing is we find this competition that is going on between central government and state government, and between various different state governments as well. So because of this thing, you know, they are increasing this SAP, and it's not just one time. Every year they are basically incrementally increasing this SAP, which is economically not a good move. It is against or not healthy for this fiscal discipline. So what could be, you can say, what is a way out, or what can we do about it? The thing is, I have three solutions, and I think these things can work, right? First of all, RBI should see, central government will not be able to do this thing because Lok Sabha elections are just around the corner. So no political party would take this risk. But RBI can definitely take this risk, right? RBI can not risk, but RBI can take this strict measure. RBI can make this thing very clear that if a particular state or a state government has declared SAP that is significantly higher than this fair price declared by the CACP, then it will not allow this public sector banks to lend money to this mills. The second step that we can take is that ultra cheap electricity is, of course, it's not always bad, but it should be given to only those farmers who have adopted this drip irrigation or other sprinkler irrigation or other, you can say, micro irrigation facilities or micro irrigation way of doing farming. If you have it, then you will get this ultra cheap electricity, or else a big no. And the third thing is that if a particular state wants to go ahead with this SAP, right, then this excess amount, that is money on top of the CACP, will have to be borne by this particular state and not by the mills or by the farmers. If they want to pay it, then they have to pay it to the farmers, right? They cannot pay to this mills. They want to help the farmers, but this excess that you are declaring, or this extra money that you are declaring in your SAP, you will have to basically, take out from your own pockets. This is the only way. These are the three ways through which we can force, this state governments to stop supplying this ultra cheap or free electricity to everyone. Continuously, evergreening this loans. These sugar mills will come down as well, and at the same time, state governments will, even if it's not politically healthy, but they will be forced to make sure that this SAP is in line with this CACP. Before moving ahead to news items, dear friends, I would like to inform all of you that our pen drive and tablet courses for UPSC exam is available. Their price is 22,500 rupees only. If you compare this money or this price with coaching classes, then you will find that on an average they charge 2 lakh rupees or more. On top of that, you don't have to, when you purchase our UPSC pen drive and tablet courses, you don't have to migrate to a major city. You can stay at your home's comfort, and you can prepare from anywhere you like. Check out StudyIQ.com to find out more about it. Now, a big news is coming from Department of Space. ISRO has conducted a test, and ISRO has been successful in this crew escape system. Now, if you are wondering what this crew escape system is all about, then this is your, say for example, your rocket, right, that is going to take you up in the sky. A rocket not just launching a satellite. This rocket is about a manned mission. It's this crew escape system is for this manned mission that we are going to conduct in future. So just in case if anything goes wrong whilst launching this rocket, right, if anything goes wrong while launching this space vehicle, then crew can be safely ejected from this space, so their lives can be saved. So this has been a successful test by ISRO. Hats off to it, and I'm sure we are going to find some more items on this particular thing. The other thing is you have a premier arts organization in our country. The name is Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts, IGNCA. Keep this mind in your head and heart. You find questions on this type of items. Now, this particular organization, IGNCA, is an autonomous institution which falls under the aegis of Union Ministry of Culture, and it's basically the main aim here of IGNCA is to create arts and culture or promote art and culture and add this multimedia platform so that we can create this bridge between ancient and modern knowledge. With this, dear friends, Prime Minister of Bhutan has arrived in our country. He is going to have a meeting with President, Prime Minister, External Affairs Minister and other ministers. And basically he is here to celebrate this 50 years or golden jubilee of this unique friendship and unique bilateral ties that these two countries, our country and Bhutan, shared with each other. With this, dear friends, this is Bhutan here for you. You can, I'm sure it's a very common knowledge that it is a neighboring country. This was the first country where Prime Minister of India visited, Mr. Modi. As soon as he became Prime Minister, this was his first international visit. With this, dear friends, you can see here lesser Himalayas, you can see many important rivers as well. Help yourself with it when you download this particular PDF lecture. And I would also draw your attention to this mountain ranges, or this mountains, right? Highest mountains of Bhutan. You should know the name of it, just in case if you find a question on this thing. With this, dear friends, I'm sure you would be able to answer this question. If I throw this question at you, give me the name of this particular region. What is the name of this region here? It was in news last year, isn't it? I'm sure most of you will get it right. And I have a small update. Mike Pompeo, who is Secretary of State, that means Foreign Minister of USA, he has left Washington today for Pyongyang. He is going to meet Kim Jong-un in North Korea, and after that he's going to meet Japanese and South Korean counterparts in Tokyo. This is in line with this 12th June meeting between Mr. Trump and Kim Jong-un. With this BBP, beg your pardon, BBBP, that is Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao scheme, is doing very well in Rajasthan. Sex ratio has improved. It was 888 in 2011, but it is 950 at present, which is not bad. The other thing is, it's not just about sex ratio, it's also about education. 20% hike has been seen in last 3 years as far as this secondary and higher secondary level is considered, you know, and we are talking about girls here. So the 20% increase in last 3 years is not bad. And the last item that I have for you guys is this Pandharichi Wari. And dear friends, this is a 700-year-old tradition in which devotees of Lord Vithala, called Varkari, trace the route to Pandharpur. And this this gathering starts from Dehu, a place that is associated with Sant Tukaram Maharaj, and Alandi, a place associated with Sant Dhyaneshwar Maharaj. They will reach this place called Pandharpur on 22nd of July, this procession. And the reason why I have taken this thing on board is because many times you find this type of questions as well in your MCQ. With this, these are your answers, these are your questions. This is StudyIQ.com website, right? Make sure you check it out for this discounts that are going on. Thank you very much for your support and love. Share this lecture, hit the like button. Enjoy your day. Jai Hind.